So I'll call this meeting to order, and it's a very short agenda. We may be going for the record tonight. I will read notice of collection. We do have one public meeting on tonight. Notice of collection. Personal information collected as a result of this public hearing and on the forms provided at the back of the room is collected under the authority of the Planning Act and will be used to assist in making a decision on this matter. All names, addresses, opinions, and comments may be collected and may form part of the minutes, which will be available to the public. Questions regarding this collection should be forwarded to the Director of Planning and Development. The purpose of public meetings is to present planning applications in a public forum as required by the Planning Act. Following presentations by the applicant, committee members will be afforded an opportunity to ask questions for clarification or further information. The meeting will then be open to the public for comments and questions. Interested persons are requested to give their name and address for recording in the minutes. There is also a sign-in sheet for interested members of the public at the back of the room. No decisions are made at public meetings concerning applications unless otherwise noted. The public meeting is held to gather public opinion. An exception to this rule is combined reports, which consolidates the public meeting and the comprehensive reports. These applications are deemed by staff as straightforward and routine. This business practice has been in place for a number of years and is received by the applicants as efficient customer service and effective use of committee time. Please note that staff use discretion in determining if an application can be a combined public meeting comprehensive report to expedite the approval process. Public meeting reports are provided to inform the public and all relevant information. Information gathered is then referred back to planning and development staff for the preparation of a comprehensive report and recommendation to planning committee. This means that after the meeting tonight, staff will be considering the comments made by the public in their further review of the applications. When this review is completed, a report will be prepared making a recommendation for action to this committee. The recommendation is typically to approve with conditions or to deny. This committee then makes a recommendation on the applications to City Council. City Council has the final say on the applications from the city's perspective. Following council decision, notice will be circulated in accordance with the Planning Act. If a person or public body would otherwise have an ability to appeal the decision of the council of the corporation of the City of Kingston to the local planning appeal tribunal, but the person or public body does not make oral submissions at a public meeting or make written submissions to the City of Kingston before the bylaw is passed, the person or public body is not entitled to appeal the decision. So, having read that, we will go to our first public meeting held pursuant to the Planning Act. That's D14-006, 2018 for 316 Albert Street. So the floor is yours.
Thank you. Proposed zoning bylaw amendment to permit the development of a second residential unit within the existing dwelling and to permit, oh, sorry, that was the wrong one. The subject property is 461 square meters in area and is located in the Sunnyside neighborhood on the west side of Albert Street and between Johnson Street and Birch Avenue. Is this okay? That's popped up. Existing residential development along Albert Street is single detached dwellings in tenor to be mixed of home ownership and rental units. There are 2 dwelling units and multi-unit dwellings in the subject area. The zoning bylaw amendment application is to permit a second residential unit at 316 Albert Street located in Kingston designated residential A 1 and 2 family dwelling units. Current use is an existing two-story dwelling unit. The proposed is to convert the existing 8 bedrooms, 8-bedroom, 1-unit dwelling into 2 dwelling units. Each unit will accommodate 4 bedrooms with a total of 8 bedrooms across the 2 units. No change to the exterior of the existing dwelling are required or proposed to accommodate the second unit. The subject property is permitted for uses of 1 and 2-family dwelling conversions, which no relief is required. Lot area requirements are 370 square meters per unit of a total of 740 square meters. Proposed existing is 461 square meters, relief of 279 square meters is required. The minimum front yard setback is 4.2 meters, existing is plus minus 1 meter. No relief is required as it's existing non-complying. 2 parking spaces are proposed on site, 1 per unit. Parking is proposed to be located at the rear yard. Access to the rear yard will be provided via existing driveway, and outdoor amenity space will be provided at the rear of the yard. The subject zoning permits 2 dwelling units. However, the zoning bylaw limits the number of dwelling units to 1 per 370 square meters in lot area. As the subject property is only 461 square meters in area, zoning bylaw amendment is requested to permit the reduction in the required lot area per dwelling unit. All other requirements of the bylaw are met or are existing non-complying. Access to the existing unit will remain unchanged and will continue to be from the existing entrance at the front of the house. Access to the second unit will be provided on the south side of the building via an existing separate entrance. The entrance to the second unit will be accessed via the existing driveway or pathway along the south side of the dwelling. An awning, lighting, and wayfinding signage is provided or proposed to identify where the entrance is located. 2 parking spaces are provided on site, 1 per unit. Parking is proposed to be located at the rear of the yard. Access to the rear yard will be provided via the driveway. With respects to the requested relief from the required minimum lot area, which is 740 square meters, the proposed reduction of 279 meters of lot area for 461 square meters is not anticipated to adversely affect the functionality of the lot. Sufficient amenity area and landscape open space is provided for the 2 units on the subject lot. Parking is provided as required by the bylaw. Lighting, wayfinding signage, and an awning is proposed at the rear entrance to provide safe access. The proposed is considered with the intent of the provincial policy statement and conforms to the policies of the official plan. The subject properties within the urban boundaries of the proposed lots will result in a more efficient use of land and services while maintaining compatibility with the existing development. The primary build form in the neighborhood will be maintained and the existing streetscape will not be negatively impacted by the proposed conversion.
Let's try again. Thank you very much. If staff would care to comment on this?
Through you, Mr. Chair, notice was provided in accordance with the Planning Act. Mail notice was provided to 139 properties within 120 meters of the subject area, and a courtesy notice was provided in the WIG standard. As well, there was signage posted on the site. To date, 1 piece of correspondence was received, and you've got it as an addendum.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the committee? Seeing none, if you could take the chair just for a second, Councillor Rosanek, I have 2 quick questions.
Take the chair and I recognize you.
Thank you. Just very quickly, a question for either staff or the proponents. Is there any concern with overlook from the new unit to the neighboring property? I notice it's a fairly narrow side.
Yeah, there's nothing
setback.
changing on the inside. Everything's done. It's just we're closing off the access on the inside and creating a kitchen. So all the bedrooms and living, it's all done. Like they're already there. It's just closing it off.
Okay, you're just trying to legalize it with the amendment. Okay. My other question concerns potential secondary suite. Is the basement at this time, is it enough to offer a couple of 2-bedroom additions in a secondary suite or adding to the existing? And I'm just curious whether that would be available by right, or would they have to come back and seek a zoning change and therefore build it to code?
Through you, Madam. Because this is a second unit that they're already adding, they would not have as of right permissions for effectively a third unit, a secondary unit, as it were. So they would require a zoning change if they were to want to add an additional unit in the basement, for a total of 3 units at that point.
Thank you.
Any further?
Thank you. No, that was it.
I return the chair to you.
Thank you. Sorry, wasn't trying to usurp you. Questions from the public?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Frank Dixon, 495 Alfred, Apartment 2, K7K 4J4. Thank you for the presentation and the report and the questions so far. I did walk by there today. It's not that far from where I live, and the only thing I maybe have a bit of concern about is the narrowness of the driveway. If we look at the drawing, which is Exhibit F, we see that the driveway's width at its opening is 7.92 feet, and then going back 15 feet, 7.44 feet. That's pretty narrow, especially when you're talking about, say, winter situation where you have snowbanks and that kind of thing. And it doesn't look like there's any way to expand that because you have the lot line of the neighboring property right there, and the house is on the right? So you may have an issue with the size of vehicle. If you had a really wide vehicle, you might not be able to get in there. So my concern would be that you might want to put up a sign saying that vehicles of a certain size wouldn't be able to go back in there. I don't know what the regulations are for that. Other than that, it seems to be a relatively routine, a conversion, and I have no objections. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll go back to the committee. Any further questions? Seeing none. Thank you very much. I think we just broke our record for the shortest planning meeting. Thank you very much. That will come back as a recommendation from staff to this committee at a future date. And they can probably tell you when that quite probably will be. And then it'll go on to council if approved by this body. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. Approve the agenda. Thank you. I think we will now approve an agenda, which, as I understand it, has no business, and then we'll adjourn. Rules of order are strange. Let me just find my place here again. Here we go. So we will approve an agenda. It's easy to pick the mover and seconder. Thank you. And confirmation of minutes from Thursday, April 19th. Same mover and seconder. All those in favor? Carried. Confirmation of minutes. You've got the mover and seconder. All those in favor? Carried. Disclosure of pecuniary interest on an agenda with no agenda. Seeing none. Delegations, briefings. Seeing none. No motions, no notices of motion, no other business. Correspondence received. Date and time of the next meeting, May 17th. So, your favorite, adjournment. Councillor Sanik, and I will second that, since somebody's too lazy to raise their arm. So, all those in favor? Carried.